Good morning, everybody. It's Marty the JavaScript Party. Rhett's out in the living room. We still have my son's dogs here at the house. Our my granddaughter is too. Lovely little Ella is hanging out. She spent the night. She was a good baby last night. I think she got up to eat once and then went straight back to bed. Went slept. I'm pretty sure 8, 9 hours. So that's pretty good. She's 6 months old now, so it's about that age. She's a lot of fun. So we have been refactoring the app animation service with sort of the goal of this top level app animation service sort of being consumed away and just there um, being able to just get rid of this whole service. Um, basically, this animation service sort of represents a over what am I trying to say? An over um, or an underestimation of how hard this task is going to be. So this or animations was, and then how much variation there was in animations. Today is Friday or Wednesday, the February the 4th. It's not too bitterly cold. I feel like yeah, it's 47 degrees outside Fahrenheit. So yeah, that's like 15 degrees higher than zero. So that's like 10 degrees um, Celsius. So it's pretty nice, especially when we're used to it. I went running yesterday. I ran a whole mile. That was nice, and it was like one of the very best runs I've ever had. At least past age 50, and it was just like it's crazy how much like how good a day is has more to do with what the previous days were like than how that day is because it was 58 degrees, which is typically very cold, but that felt so warm and beautiful to me. So this guy here has a lot of states and stuff like that in it, but it only has one function left, and it's update visualization layout. If I remember yesterday, this gets called from um, one of maybe the custom layout. I don't know. It gets called from somewhere. Let's figure out what that is. The easiest way for me with Angular is just to rename it. So like if I rename this A update, then it won't transpile and it'll tell me exactly where it's broken. So basically all this does is pass in a number, which could be zero apparently. And if the viz count is greater than zero, then it calls this stuff. So, um, and all it has is the layout class and the service. So it looks like what I probably need to do is have another function like this in this visualization layout and that accepts the count, this visualization service and this component service, and is hard coded to true apparently. Um, and that needs to have, so I guess what I'll do is I'll call this. And then let's go to our layout class. No, if I want to go to implementations, no, see that. Oh yeah, so we're in the layout class. Wait a second. No, this is the layout class. So let's hit this little back button. Let's see if we can figure out how to do this. Right. So I want to go to the definition, I guess. No, that still didn't take me where I wanted to be. Huh. I guess I need to actually go to this implementation. So I'm going to the actual method implementation. And basically, I'm going to paste this thing here. And then I'm going to pass in basically exactly like this. comma. Now, a refactor like this is not always feasible. Like, I don't know exactly why, but I know I've tried refactors just like that, like this one in the past, and just been like, just attempt after attempt after attempt, and finally just give up. Um, but oop, I hear my granddaughter. I hear little Ella. So this just become visualization class just becomes this, and then these guys, this and this. And so now that should be able to go there. And now if we hit back, let's go to wherever this is broken. So this is saying, hey, this is where it got changed. It's pretty cool that it actually recognizes this. That, hey, I think this is what you wanted to change. But do I already have the class? I don't think I have my class yet. All right, so that's the first thing we need to do is set up our class. And the way I want to do that out of memory. So it's viz app component. No, maybe I don't know. Now I'm confused. Oh, it is the viz component layout class. So viz component layout class. And I can't even just tell you how important, like the to me, my longevity, how long I've survived in this industry, I think has a lot to do with um me equals with recognizing like how you need to. It's like there were certain points in time where different skills have mattered. Like there was a time when a computer could only run. Like when I first started using computers pretty heavily as an adult, um, computers could only run one program at a time. So like the things you had to be able to remember, because you'd have to literally turn the whole computer off and start it up again with the new program, boot into the whatever program you wanted to use. And so, you had to build up a whole bunch of skills of how to remember as you move from program to program with the complete shutdown. But then copy and paste, it became better to not try to remember. It became better to actually type it out. But then now with this help that these IDEs give you, it's kind of better to try to type it out again. Um, oops. So this time, now I'm going to type it out. Viz. And I think we need the new keyword. Now, instead of that, we want to go in here. But this thing wants a couple of other things. And one thing it wants is a service. I don't remember exactly which service, so let's go look real quick. It is the visualization service and the viz component service. So let's see. Looks like I have visualization service already. I'm going to put these on separate lines. And then the other one is called viz component service. I don't know if we already have that one. It doesn't look like it. And we want to get that one as a singleton. So this guy, since we have a new, is its own class, it has its own stuff. It doesn't share anything, but we want the viz component service that is a singleton that has shared information. I think it's called viz component service. Viz is equal to inject viz component service, and then this dot viz component service. If I remember correctly, well, first let's just make sure it actually will build. Okay. Is this custom? Maybe there's two places that this happens. Okay, so where were we just at? We were just in app tabular layout component. Oh, now this one is app custom layout component. So I would imagine we want to do something very similar. Control X, Control V, Control copy. Let's go over here. We want to do something very similar. Oh, no, we already had the visualization. I should have realized I was already going to have the visualization. Oh, okay, so I still need the viz component service. So basically, we're just living Groundhog Day, which is like you should always sort of pause whenever you're kind of doing this. Like you probably there's a very good chance you need to do this, like have a copy paste because like we're literally just getting access to certain classes and stuff like that. But it's usually a pretty good indication that down the road you may run into some issues, like you might be headed to some issues. But so this is going to be in our viz component layout class. And then it's not sure. I think we did figure out that this was necessary. But viz component service. No, visualization service. And then viz component layout, no, viz component service. All right, let's see. Cross your fingers. 1, 2, 3. So that's good. It transpiled, and we don't have any errors in. I mean, it's still rendering. It's not sitting. Let's go ahead and look at our console log. Make sure. Yeah, no weird errors in there. Let's see, just make sure we can change views, come back, and yeah, everything's good. Now I don't think we need that app animation service anymore. Let's comment out the last thing. And then just through lots of experience, I've learned that instead of just automatically just try and delete everything, like just sort of get rid of all the stuff that you don't think you need until it's just empty. Save. All of this. I just like to not have that gulp feeling like, ooh, did I just mess something up? So I'm confident that getting rid of an empty class that literally or a singleton that literally does nothing won't cause any issues. Now the problem is that there's a good chance um, that this is being injected in places. So let's just go ahead and break it like that. So it's saying, hey, someone named this Hamination. But see, we have this, and it's dimmed out in our IDE, so we know we aren't using it there. We still have a problem, y'all. Uh-oh. Why is it showing not dimmed out? Okay, let's see what we do. Oh, this is just our import. Okay, so animation serves this guy right here. So we inject it. I don't know. And it looks like we use it actually. I guess the easiest way would be just to delete that. Delete that. Hit save. See what happens. So it's upset here. Custom layout. I think it's the same exact deal. And then again, since we're kind of going through the exact same steps on multiple components and multiple files, that should kind of like give you that sort of, this is something I need to watch out for. App menu component was importing the animation service, but didn't seem to be doing anything with it. App component. Again, importing it, not doing anything with it. It looks like we are back, baby. All right, so that should be good commit, good code commit. Let's see, that just adds. Let's just see if we can do it quick. If we don't see anything, if I see one single thing, I'm gonna have to wait till tomorrow because I am out of time. And I think I have a big day ahead of me today at work. It's really neat seeing like the state meetings, like the floor chamber meetings, and then seeing like some code that a web page that I built is they bring up on the board in the room. It's just really neat to see that. Oh, I did that, and all these senators and stuff. Okay, so this actually needs to just be deleted. I don't even know if it'll let me delete it, or if it'll be like, you have to be a recycled. Oh, yeah, animations is now empty, so delete this. And I will say, a week ago today, okay, I'm gonna do a commit tomorrow. A week ago yesterday, I could not see a path forward on this refactor, and now the refactor is done. All I could see was like the direction to go in, and just sort of have faith in myself that I would be able to handle anything that mattered or that got in the way. And if all else breaks, if all else fails, you can always just revert the code. Um, so, anyways, happy coding, everybody. Tomorrow we'll commit this code and run unit tests, and I'm sure those are going to have tons of work to do. And also, I had this sort of concept of whenever I did a unit tests, like I used to be like, oh, I only care about 100%, but now I'm like, anytime while I've set aside the time while I'm writing unit tests as time to obsess about every individual line of code to make sure I understand everything. So like during this time, I was more focused on like the overall structure, architectural structure, but now it's time to obsess about individual lines of code. Anyways, happy coding, everybody. Bye.